lights, late night glow. Pull up a seat, you already know. Alan Thompson on the microphone. Yeah, we're getting into it tonight. Everybody got a story, but there's always something more. What you heard is just the beginning. We're going.
Hey, what's up, Hollywood besties? This is Alan Thompson with More Based Off. Y'all, Nick went on Troy's World last night, and apparently he went on there to clear his name and show the receipts about what really happened with Fiesty in San Antonio. And somehow I left with more questions. Okay, so we got screenshots, pictures, secret recordings, stuff about Marcus, stuff about tragedy. And then Nick even has some words for me. Then his best friend Baddy calls in, gets extremely emotional, starts seemingly crying and going off on Fiesty. She was very emotional and upset. And I will say, we all need a Baddie in our lives. That's a ride or die friend, clearly. I will give her that. And but after all of that, one allegation I specifically expected Nick to address never came up. And this was in that Fiesty video. She brought up an OnlyFans situation of supposedly an OnlyFans creator that was supposed to move in, or Nick wanted to move in an OnlyFans creator. So somehow that never was addressed, and that definitely was one of the allegations that Fiesty had. But anyways, at some point, I'm just starting to think that Nick loves confirming my conclusions. So let's get into it. And just to be clear, Fiesty has made allegations about Nick that Nick disputes. Again, I wasn't inside the house with them, so I'm not presenting disputed allegations as facts. Again, this is a commentary channel, so, this is my commentary. This is my take on things. So far as Fiesty being a liar, everybody says she's a liar. She's a liar. I did say I believe Fiesty in this case. That doesn't mean that I believe everything that Fiesty says. And again, liars every now and again do tell the truth. So in this case, I believed her. And many of the things, again, were pretty much confirmed by Nick that she wasn't completely lying about everything. But that's the problem when you lie. It's like the little girl that cried wolf. You cry wolf so many times, and then people are not going to believe you. When it really, is a wolf. People aren't going to believe you. So Fiesty, stop lying so that we know that whatever you're saying is actually truthful, and we don't have to figure out, okay, is this the truth or is this a lie, or So that's the problem with that. But anyways, in this video, I'm comparing what Fiesty said publicly with what Nick is now saying publicly. And that is where this gets interesting. Nick says he didn't know Fiesty was going to snake him. He says once he left San Antonio, he knew their business relationship was over. Then he says he started seeing a side of Fiesty he had never seen before. Nick, did you watch Atlanta Street Interviews? You said you've been a fan for years and that you watched. So what version of Fiesty did you see before inviting her to San Antonio? Because unpredictable Fiesty was not exactly a secret. So Nick kept saying that there was this energy shift. But what shifted? I mean, Fiesty was always unpredictable. Fiesty was always, kind of crazy, loud, confrontational, before she ever stepped foot in Texas. That was a part of what we watched Fiesty for. And you didn't discover Fiesty in San Antonio. You invited Fiesty to San Antonio. So You knew what you were inviting. There wasn't any energy shift. Come on now, Nick. And then Nick says that I have a biased opinion toward him because I said I believed Feisty. He said, well, that says it all that I believe Feisty. Yes, in this case, I believe Feisty. I never indicated that I believe everything Feisty says or I take her word for everything. But there's a reason why I come to the conclusions that I come to on things. I said that there were parts of Feisty's account that I believed. And Nick, you kept showing me why I believe parts of her account. Feisty said that Nick filmed or documented her sleeping. That's what Feisty said in the video in Ant's barbershop. So Nick comes on Troy's World, and guess what? He shows a picture of Feisty sleeping on his couch, which was actually a video, but it was presented as a picture. And then I think Troy did play the actual video. Nick, again, yes, I believed Feisty, and here you go, coming to confirm what I said I believed. But anyways, Nick explains why. He says the energy had shifted and he thought Feisty might eventually snake him, so he started documenting things. Okay, that explains your reasoning, but it doesn't change the underlying fact. You documented a woman sleeping, and you said something about because she fell asleep while y'all were filming something, and whatever the explanation was, regardless, you filmed somebody sleeping, and that's odd. And that's what I mean when I say Nick loves confirming my conclusions. Feisty says something happened. Nick says essentially, well, yes, but let me explain what happened. Sir, that's still important information. Okay, so let's get on to the other allegation of Feisty and what she said. Then Feisty went on to say that Nick kissed her on the cheek and grabbed her butt. So Nick denied that. And then he kind of just went on talking about whatever else and just said, oh, no, that's absolutely not true. And I want to be clear. I don't have any evidence establishing that Nick grabbed Feisty's butt. But then Nick circles back around and he describes what happens. And Nick says, well, I did kiss her on the forehead once. Okay, Nick. Wow. Then he says, and then I would hug her before I would go to work. But they were side hugs. Nick. Again, that does not prove Feisty's allegation, okay? But Feisty described physical familiarity between them, and Nick's own account confirms that there was some level of physical familiarity. I mean, a forehead kiss, side hugs before work. So when Nick wonders why I didn't immediately dismiss everything Feisty said, it's because you can't come on Troy's World and you keep confirming the pieces surrounding the story. I mean, what's going on? Do you not see how you confirm what my suspicions are? Oh my gosh, you just can't make this up. Okay, then Nick plays audio of himself asking Feisty whether he ever did anything that made her feel uncomfortable. This was another strangest thing, and he's providing this to help his case, y'all. He's providing this information to help the case. And immediately I'm thinking, why are you recording this conversation? So Nick says again that he thought Feisty was going to snake him, so this is why he's recording certain things. And of course, Feisty wasn't aware, and then he goes into this whole thing about the law in Texas, which I get it. We get how those laws work, where people don't have to consent when you record them, but still, it's like, why are you recording this? And so then he again goes back to this famous energy shift that he keeps alluding to. And so he said he started documenting things. But Nick also says that he thought that he and Feisty were friends. Sir, you thought you were friends, but you're secretly building a receipt folder in case things turned against you. Okay, right. So that tells me that this relationship was already very strange. Like I said, before she ever got to Texas, anybody in their right mind should have known what to expect. So then Nick plays another recording where Fiesty is apparently reacting to Marcus saying he checks identification. Fiesty says Marcus is lying because she doesn't even have an ID, which we know. So that's interesting. But once again, Nick confirms he was secretly recording Fiesty. Maybe you agree with his reason. Maybe you don't, but the recordings existed. So now, Nick says he believes Marcus manipulates situations and pushes narratives, and he appears to think Marcus influenced some of what Fiesty later said about him. Now, I mean, hello, we know how Marcus does. Marcus is all about the mess. Of course, that's what he does. Nobody's denying that. And let me also be very clear: I'm not on Marcus's side on this, or in this situation. I'm not on Nick's side. Again, I'm giving my commentary, and I'm pointing out the obvious. Honestly, the obvious about how freaking stupid all of this is. Okay, so let's get back to it. So Nick's theory, that is Nick's theory about it, that Marx is pushing this narrative and he's pushing Fiesty to say these things. But Marcus allegedly pushing narratives doesn't automatically tell us whether Fiesty's allegations are true or false. See, that's the thing. He could be pushing it, but it doesn't automatically make it false. So those are separate questions. So Nick also says tragedy would send him threatening messages, and that there would often be problems at night when Nick was working and Fiesty was talking to tragedy. And Nick says this confused him. Nick, what are you confused about? Tragedy was already a part of Fiesty's life. But more importantly, why was Nick this emotionally invested in Fiesty's communication with tragedy? That's where I keep questioning the boundaries. Was this business? Was this friendship? Are you her content manager, as you said you were? Are you helping Fiesty, managing Fiesty? I'm confused at this emotional investment here, sir, because every explanation makes this arrangement sound less like straightforward business. You were way too emotionally invested, like clearly. Okay, but let's get back to this OnlyFans thing, because again, this was not addressed in the interview. And I brought this up in my previous video about this whole situation, because that was something I noticed. Nick addressed a lot. The sleeping picture, the kiss, the recordings, Marcus tragedy, reaction channels, me, of course. But unless I missed it, the OnlyFans allegation was never addressed. And I mean, that's a big piece I would think you would need to address. Now, Nick not addressing it is, doesn't mean that it's something that happened. Silence is not proof. But if you're appearing publicly to clear your name and respond to Fiesty's allegations, I mean, I expected that one to come up. That's a big allegation, especially because it goes directly to what this supposed business relationship was becoming. What exactly was the plan for Fiesty? We know about finding Fiesty. We know about, Baddy, his best friend, editing the content. We know they were trying to build something around Fiesty, but what was the actual content strategy? Because that allegation is sitting there unanswered. So, Nick, if there's another round of receipts, I mean, put that one on the agenda. I'm just saying, apparently, I'm the gossipy woman. So, go ahead and, provide us those receipts. So, getting on that, me being the gossipy like a woman is what Nick says. And apparently I'm real pillow-talky, as he says as well. And that I have a biased opinion towards Nick. Nick, I don't think you get how this works. You are on Troy's World discussing Fiesty, Marcus tragedy, private conversations, Instagram messages, secret recordings, your marriages, your personal business, telling people to go to your Instagram. But I'm gossipy. I mean, you brought the tea set. I'm just reviewing the tea, sir. And apparently, Nick doesn't even watch my show, according to him. Okay, so you don't watch, but you know I'm gossipy. You know I'm pillow-talky. You know I believe feisty. And you know I'm biased towards you. So who's watching then? Because somebody is giving you a daily briefing. And yes, Nick, I said I believed portions of what Feisty's account. In this case, I believe most of what she said. But then you came out and confirmed that you documented her sleeping, acknowledged the forehead kiss and side hugs, and admittedly secretly recorded her because you thought she might turn against you. I mean, it doesn't prove all of her allegations, but I didn't pull my opinion out of the thin air here, Nick. I mean, the only one that pretty much we could say she wasn't lying about maybe is that you grabbed her butt. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, you might just be leaving that small detail out. So, oh my God, y'all. So this is where the interview gets completely, oh my God, out of control. So Nick's best friend Baddie, who produced Finding Feisty, calls into Troy's World. And Baddy is extremely emotional, upset, crying, going off on Feisty. And what basically came across to me was that Baddy basically felt betrayed. She talked about editing the content for Feisty, helping her, just with all of that. And, she stood by like it wasn't AI, that she put her hard work into it. And she clearly felt that Feisty was not grateful for all she had done. So, and I understand disappointment, like when you really try to help people and then they just don't show any gratitude. But this was just over the top. It was way too much, y'all. And to be honest, it did not help Nick's case. It did not help. Nick, you're gonna have to get some better witnesses to vouch for you, because that right there, that did not help. I mean, why is everybody this emotionally invested in Feisty? I mean, Nick feels betrayed. Baddy feels betrayed. People are crying. Nick is secretly recording. I mean, and it's just so much. It's just like, why? Let it go. I mean, first of all, there were certain things that should have been thought through before you even brought her out to San Antonio. Come on here. I mean, 56, you a 56-year-old man. Come on now, let's use some common sense. But then Baddie, his bestie, she went on and called Feisty the Beyonce of street interviews. This is when I just said, you know what? I'm done. Cut the interview. Say what now? Beyonce? Listen, first of all, Beyonce is somewhere minding her business. Don't bring Beyonce into this, please. Beyonce is a legend. Okay? I don't see the comparison at all. But it just brings home how completely insane this whole story is. It makes absolutely no sense. But you know what? This actually tells me something. They clearly saw big potential in Feisty. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. And that probably explains some of the investment. Finding Feisty, making the videos for her, trying to build her brand. But once again, what was everybody expecting in return? Because Baddie felt really hurt by what Feisty did, and felt that Feisty didn't appreciate what she had done. But anyways, then she moved on. She kind of calmed down, which I'm glad, but you know what? Like I say, Baddie, kudos to you. You're a ride or die friend. Everybody needs a friend like you, because you stood by your friend Nick. So I do give you credit for that. But then Baddie does say that Nick and her are very close. Like basically they talk 23 hours out of 24 hours of the day. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And she said that they would date each other. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. Um, we were talking about Fiesty. I'm like, okay, but she's dropping some other, information. I'm like, okay. Then, she talks about making money with Nick, although she says she hasn't made money from TikTok yet because she did share a TikTok. Um, so yeah, I was just kind of like, okay, that's interesting. But anyway, so that ended with Baddie. Troy kind of wrapped that up, and Baddie told Nick that she loved him, and then Nick responds, "Love you, baby." And I'm like, oh, okay. um, all right, to the bestie. Um, and yeah, and Troy did bring up whether she had met Nick's wife, and of course she hasn't. And Nick is still a married man. Okay, anyways, moving on from that. But anyways, Nick, you really cannot call me gossipy. I mean, come on now, and then hand me material like this. And again, none of Baddie's emotion proved anything about the allegations against you concerning Feisty. But if the purpose of her call was to help clear your name, I mean, for most people, unfortunately, Nick, it didn't. I mean, it just didn't. It fell flat. I mean, it was a train wreck, to be honest with you. It just made the entire situation look even more insane. My gosh, it was insane. Anyways, Nick, you said that you essentially prayed to God that He would get you out of this situation and that you would never do anything stupid again. Nick, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not. I'm not gonna go there. Have you really learned your lesson, though? Have you really learned your lesson again? You're 56. There were things that certain decisions, by the time you're 56, you should have already known. Bringing Feisty into your home under these circumstances was just a foolish decision. Come on now. Business got mixed with friendship, boundaries got blurred, expectations developed, trust deteriorated, and suddenly people were secretly documenting each other. It was a recipe for disaster. Okay, one more thing. Nick also talks about this current wife, he's going through the divorce with, and that there isn't a child support arrangement set up with her, and that he spoke to her the last time when he spoke to her was in December. And again, here goes Nick, private person and all of this, doesn't want people to talk about his business and all of this. That raises some questions, you know, especially considering the history with Nick that we've been discussing. Why haven't you talked to her since December, and why don't y'all have a child support plan set up? Like, sounds like that's on you, homeboy. I'm just saying, you keep confirming again a lot of things. All right, so where do I land? After Nick's appearance on Troy's World, did he prove every allegation Feisty made? No. Did he deny important parts of her story? Yes. But did Nick also confirm several underlying details that help explain why I found portions of Feisty's story believable? Absolutely. The sleeping picture existed. Nick acknowledges the forehead kiss. Nick acknowledges the side hugs. Nick acknowledges secretly recording Feisty because he thought she might snake him. Those things don't prove the butt grabbing allegation or any other disputed allegation, but they show that this relationship was much more complicated than we were just doing business. And suddenly Feisty turned against me. And after addressing all of that, we still didn't get to the OnlyFans allegation. So Nick says more receipts are, I guess, coming. He had more receipts. I don't think Troy showed them all. So, Nick, I mean, I guess you're going to have to show more receipts, and address that OnlyFans allegation as well. Now, Nick, if you show something that changes my opinion, I will say it. I don't think you're a bad guy. I will say that. You seem nice enough, Nick, but I'm going to be quite honest with you. For 56, you seem somebody had used the term green. I'll say naive. I could use some other words. I'm going to be nice, though. Come on, man. You 56. Like, really? If you replay that interview, this is like some, high school crap. Maybe even younger than that. Anyways, but if the next receipt accidentally confirms something I've already been saying, I'm going to say that. Because lately, Nick loves confirming my conclusion. I'm done, y'all. This is Alan Thompson with More Based Off. Get in those comments. Let's talk about this one, y'all. This is just insane. Did Nick's appearance actually help clear his name? Or what do you guys think about the sleeping picture, the forehead kiss, and the secret recordings? And why was Baddie so emotionally invested in Fiesty? And what was that all about? Her whole rant. And then, did anybody else notice that the OnlyFans allegation never came up? Because I certainly did. Nick came with his supposed receipts, but somehow Nick's receipts backfired. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Ooh-wee. Can't even make this stuff up.
Hollywood lights, late night glow. Pull up a seat, you already know. Alan Thompson on the microphone. Yeah, we're getting into it tonight. Everybody got a story, but there's always something more. What you heard is just the beginning. We're going deeper than before. More based off, more based off. There's always more to talk about. More based off, more based off. Turn it up, we're breaking it down. From Hollywood we set the vibe. Come on in and stay a while. Ellen Thompson every night. More based off, we're live. Yeah, there's always something more. More based off with Alan Thompson.
Thanks for watching More Based Off. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with someone who would enjoy it too. Your support helps to grow the channel. If you'd like to support the channel even further, my Cash App is on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.